Fractal Bitcoin shining bright, buries wisdom every night. He says, yeah, oh yeah, now's the time. Bitcoin value on the climb, all-time high, the place to be. Bitcoin price discovery, always fun to buy the top. The moon is our next stop. You're gonna need a couple horses or a couple mules. Bitcoin up in the sky so high, pump it up, smoke the fools. All-time high, the buzz is real. Price discovery that you can feel. Prosperity is within our sight. Fractal Bitcoin lights up the night. You're gonna need a couple horses.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or a couple mules. Bitcoin up in the sky so high. Pump it up, smoke the fools. All-time high, the buzz is real. Price discovery that you can feel. Prosperity is within our sight. Fractal Bitcoin lights up the night. You're gonna need a couple horses.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or a couple mules. Bitcoin up in the sky so high. Pump it up, smoke the fools. I said so, yeah, again. Bitcoin's running, tell a friend. Forget the doubts, embrace the light. Bitcoin shining all so bright. All-time high, the buzz is real. Price discovery that you can feel. Prosperity is within our sight. Fractal Bitcoin lights up the night. You're gonna need a couple horses.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or a couple mules. Bitcoin up in the sky so high. Pump it up, smoke the fools. He says so, yeah, again. Bitcoin's running, tell a friend. Tell them get the doubts, embrace the light. Bitcoin shining all so bright. Fractal Bitcoin shining bright, buries wisdom every night.
Oh, forget it.
Forget the doubts, embrace the light. Bitcoin shining oh so bright.
Oh, forget it. Hold on. Hold on here. I thought we were ready to go, but are we ready to go? It's pretty dark in here. It's pitch dark. We need some light. Let there. Oh, hold on. Where the hell is this thing? Let there be light. Arnie thinking about joining us, maybe? Thought I heard him coming. Well, hello out there. We're on the air. What's up? Welcome back to another episode, another day. The Daily Bitcoin Journey. Hold on. Sorry, I was too into the music there. I had a lot of time here to get ready for what just happened, and I was too engulfed in the music. Too caught up. What a song. Wow. I think that has to be the song of the 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028 Bitcoin bull run. Has to be. That song's in my head all day, nonstop. And then especially when there's like good news, like when we hit 100K Bitcoin. By the way, 100K sounds pretty good to the Americans out there. But wait till you try 147,000 Canadian dollars. Then we're talking. Then we're talking. Oh, I need a top up here. Almost ran out of sats. All right, it is not Friday today, but let's have a Fat Zap Thursday today. I told Chris there, he's the maker, he's the producer and creator of the Smoke the Fool song. Wow, 1,000 sats now cost $1.03 American. Okay, we're topped up. I told Chris yesterday on his stream. He did 2 streams, so shout out to Chris. Wow, what a day. He went live in the morning, and then he went live after 100K. And oh, there's Arnie. Oh, he fooled us. Just wanted to be just wanted to do a little drive by there. But anyways, believe this or not, I know this wasn't live. The Bitcoin Journey wasn't live last night, but I was still live when it happened. And I was going to bring up the video, but I don't know if it's worth doing or not. We were doing our golf show last night. We do golf awards for this province every year. And there's a lot of people in the chat actually from the Bitcoin community, probably more Bitcoiners than golfers in there last night because of everything that was happening. But I didn't see it. I was doing the show. And then all of a sudden there was a couple comments saying 100K. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I know we're close. We're going to get it probably at some point. But then I checked and it was 103. And then a couple more comments came in and it was 103 or 102, whatever it was. So I was live. It wasn't a 100K live stream, but we were live. So that will forever be captured on the internet the moment we hit 100K. Pretty cool. Anyway, Zaps, what's going on over there? I see plungers there. Pretty slow though overall. So it is, again, is not Fat Zap Friday, but let's have some fat zaps today for 100K. Everybody's rich now. 100K party. I don't know how long the show is going to be today. I wasn't going to do a show actually. And then I think it was good karma because I got to go into the city today. We got to send a bunch of packages for knggolf. But so I wasn't going to do a show today. I even said that on the yesterday's show. I said, I'll see you Friday. But then last night I was thinking, you know what? I can probably do an early show. I wanted to talk about a couple things that happened after the show yesterday. So I was just going to do a quick stream. And then we hit 100K. So I feel like that was good karma. I feel like that was good proof of work that I wasn't going to skip the show. And we were rewarded for that, I think. What do you think? I don't know. Damien's in the chat. Good morning, Damien. We got Waro. It's a good question. Have we smashed like it? There's a lot more people than I thought there was going to be in here this morning for an early show, an hour early. So it's good to see everybody. I know everybody's excited, myself included. All right, we got 53 people watching and 15 likes. I'm not going to go any further, I don't think, until we do a little bit better than that. We also had some after-hour zaps last night that came in. Somebody sent 69. Hey, there's Arn. There's our good buddy. What are you chewing on? Give me the side eye. Oh. We had a 69 sat zap last night. And then I don't know who sent that. Oh, no, this is from Duchess. Yeah, because it says Lucky the dog sends Arnie and the rescue dog some celebratory sats for 100K Bitcoin, 1,000 sats. And then somebody sent in 8 sats saying, Zap, we did a Jor, happy 100K friend. So shout out to the after hours zappers. It's pretty impressive, I thought. So this is going to be live today again. So if you want to send in a zap for Fat Zap Thursday, you can send it right here. We'll see it live on the show. Try it out. Send 1 sat even. See if it works. See if I'm calling your bluff. Damien, Michael, good morning. Hi, Jordan. Good day from Brazil. Wow. Hello from Canada. Hello from freezing cold Canada. Not quite as cold as yesterday, Arnie? Still pretty cold though. I titled the show Bitcoin has only just begun for a reason. And the reason I said that, the reason I called it that today is because, I was laying in bed last night after our podcast or after our golf show. No. Arnie just dropped his ball. He's thinking about whether he should go get it or not. Is he going to get it? We should be taking bets. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I was laying in bed last night after the golf show and after Bitcoin hit 100K and after watching Chris's stream for a while and joining in the chat there. And I was like, I feel like I should feel better about this. Like, I feel like I should feel rich and vindicated. And I did. There was a little bit of that. But at the same time, I was like, I understood the urgency. And we did a show earlier in the week called, I forget what it was called, but it was something to do with urgency. And we've been seeing that from Michael Saylor. Speaking of urgency, he announced that they were going to spend $42 billion over the next 3 years. And I think he's already spent about a quarter of that in a month. So he recognizes the urgency. That's all I could think about laying in bed last night. I'm like, this thing is moving too fast. I don't have everything in place that I wanted to have in place. And so the only thing to do is, work a little bit harder, I guess. I don't know. It's happening so fast and faster than I ever imagined, honestly. There was a while, when I first got into Bitcoin and crypto, that at the very first beginning, when my mind was kind of blown by everything. And I was like, this is going to happen next month. The banks are going to collapse. The governments are going to collapse. Bitcoin's going to take over. Everybody's going to move to a Bitcoin standard next month. Then, of course, you dig a little bit deeper. You connect some dots. You learn more about Bitcoin. And now it's happening faster than I thought it was going to. This year, we've had the ETFs. We've had Trump. We've had public companies. I'm going to talk about one big one this morning. But it's pretty incredible, truly. And, the longer you spend in Bitcoin, the cool thing about that is that the longer you spend in Bitcoin, the more time you take studying Bitcoin and learning everything that's going on here, the more conviction you have. So when 100K comes around, it's cool, but it's like, yeah, we knew it was coming. Like it wasn't a matter of if it was going to happen. It was a matter of when. So lots of different thoughts, lots of different, ideas. Who knows? It's pretty cool. So today's show is going to be a short one, I think. I got to get into the city. I got to get some shit done. But I did want to just come on and say hi. So this is kind of going to be more of a Q&A, I guess. So if you have anything you want to talk about, any questions, if you're just brand new into Bitcoin, need some guidance, look no further. I put out a blog post yesterday, and I didn't get the blowback that I was expecting. But anyways, check that out. Make sure you're on Substack or you're following me on Nostr, because I put out a daily Bitcoin journal every morning, a blog post. But buck 52,000's in the chat. Good morning. Look at this. We got quality first. Should I refinance my house and buy Bitcoin with it? I mean, is that crazy, or should I go for it? Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do for sure. That should be a given. But I don't think that that's crazy. I think that that's going to become the new normal. Truly. And if you look back on my page, we did a video about this we did a video last week talking about this and how not only, is it a good idea, but it is going to become the normal. And it's not risky at all. It actually gives you a lot more collateral. It's a lot better way to secure a mortgage. From your perspective, you get the Bitcoin. You might even pay the mortgage off way earlier than expected if this thing keeps doing what it's been doing. But the other thing there is that you're going to have some cushion. So I'm actually going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do a show for our 88 Sats community. And I'm going to talk about this with houses, with refinancing houses. I'm going to talk about this with a golf course too, because we're going to have a decision in the next, hopefully, couple of years. about buying a golf course. And I think that there's a lot of people who want to sell Bitcoin to buy an hair here. To buy a golf course, or if we should take on a mortgage against it instead. So I'm going to explain kind of the benefits of not buying things with Bitcoin, but leveraging the Bitcoin to buy things with, and how that all comes into play. So I might post it to the channel. I might not, depending on how it goes, but I'll probably talk about it either way. So this light's kind of annoying now because I have to lean forward to use this mouse. Hey, Lori, good morning. Good morning, winners. I thought that said wieners. Good morning, winners. Brennan's in the chat. Good morning. Damien, some people say the cycle will be different now with the ETF and all this adoption. What's your view on that? I think so. I know everybody says that every cycle, but even if you compare this cycle to last, like it's not even close. Truly, it's not close. And the people who said that in 2020, that this time's different, they were just kind of thinking that all the buzz, they were into the hype. But it's a much different feeling now. There's a whole lot more money. There's a whole lot more capital, and people, countries, everybody wants some Bitcoin. So I do think that this cycle will be different. I don't know what that looks like. And there could be something that happens that I can't foresee. So do I think it's going to come down again at some point? Yes. What is it going to come down to? I have no idea. I honestly think that, once we kind of chop here for a while, it looks like we had a good night in terms of the Bitcoin movement. But, if we chop here for a while, I don't know if we'll come below 100 again. I think that this is kind of like the new mental view on Bitcoin is now that it's worth 100K. But who knows? Again, that's just my thoughts on it. I could be totally out to lunch. So I don't have a crystal ball. I just know that over the next 10 years, it's going to be worth more than 100K. That's what I do know. Good morning, Dale. Dale from QuickBit Regina. Good morning. Ian. Morning, Jor. And gang, you're right. It's just the beginning. Yeah, it is. And that's the sad part, is that people who waited this long are now going to look at Bitcoin and say, well, it's 100K. I don't want to buy the top. I'm going to wait for it to come down. And is it ever going to come down? Who knows? But the best thing you can be doing right now is just buying. Buy some today, buy some tomorrow, buy some next week, buy some next month, buy forever. Every time you get any fiat, turn it into Bitcoin. Spend some if you have to, but keep the majority of it in your cold storage, and then just go to sleep on it for a while. It's fun to watch price, but we know where this thing's going. Hey, Harry, hi from Portugal. Wow, I love Portugal. Had a really good chat with a guy from Portugal the other night. Long one. The Portuguese love to chat. That's for sure. Redbird says, I have a problem. I tried to spend some Bitcoin, but I can't bring myself to press the sell button. I have the curse of HODL. Well, I don't think that's a curse. I think that's a blessing, my friend. I think that is a blessing. It's like, but you just have to ask yourself, what are you selling it for? Why would you trade something? Why would you trade the greatest asset in the history for something that they can print out of thin air? It just doesn't make any sense when you just stop and look at it objectively. Why would you? Unless you need to pay for, like, to put food on the table or to fix your house, like if your roof's caving in, like there's certain times where you have to spend some of your Bitcoin. But for the most part, like my whole life anyways, the mentality in society was always, as soon as you get money, you spend it. Maybe you save 10%, but over time, even that 10% that you set aside just melts away. So it's like you get some money, you got to buy something. Otherwise, then you don't really think about why you're doing it. It's just like, this stuff is worth nothing. Why would I hold on to it? But then you get some Bitcoin and you're like, well, okay, I get it now. I don't need that new shirt. I don't need that new purse. I don't need these new shoes. The shoes I have just work just fine. But at the same time, like, you got to enjoy it a little bit. You have to, I wouldn't say like just sell it and buy a whole bunch of dumb shit, but like, you've earned it, and Akil, good morning. Winner chicken dinner. Speaking of that, let's do a little giveaway today. We've been missing the Bitcoin well because I didn't have any tosses, but they topped me up yesterday. So let's give away some Bitcoin in honor of Akil. Okay, let me get up the banner. Actually, let's do this first. So let me bring up the initial or the original text here, or the tweet. So I want to share this because this is pretty badass. So Bitcoin Well, sponsor of the show, friends of the show, best platform in North America for Bitcoin, for buying, selling, for recurring buys, for pin bills, buying gift cards, for swapping on-chain to Lightning. The best platform that exists, without a doubt. But yesterday, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Bitcoin Well is actually a public company. And yesterday, or Tuesday maybe, Bitcoin Well announces a Bitcoin purchase. Let me bring it up. Just so you guys don't think I'm lying to you. Bitcoin Well. Well, I was on the Bitcoin Well Twitter page this morning already. You know why? Because I'm going to buy some Bitcoin today with Bitcoin Well from the ATM. Okay, where is this? Come on. Well, this is kind of cool. We'll just start with this. This is good enough for now. Share this tab instead. All right, Bitcoin Well. Adam's tweet here says, doing our part to adopt the sailor strategy up here in Canada. As a Bitcoin business, we have the unique opportunity to give our shareholders and our customers the ability to turbocharge their Bitcoin exposure. So Bitcoin Well announced Bitcoin purchase. How much did they purchase first? Start with that. The purchase of approximately 7.5 Bitcoin for $1 million Canadian and an average price of 137,000 per Bitcoin. Also, they announced a Bitcoin brokerage private placement offering up to $2 million of convertible debt led by Haywood Securities with 500,000 of insider participation. So that's pretty big news, I would say. So they bought seven Bitcoin, $1 million worth, and they're going to use the MicroStrategy strategy to buy more Bitcoin. They're taking on some convertible debt. I mean, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? It just doesn't make any sense right now to be not taking advantage of that. Not only for the company, for the shareholders, but like for the share price. Like we've seen what happened over the last 6 months between MicroStrategy, Semler, who else? Marathon, the company in Japan, Metaplanet. And in the last couple of weeks, there's been like 10 new public companies announced that they're doing this. So I absolutely love Bitcoin Well. I'm not going to tell you to buy any shares in there. I'm not going to tell you to do that. I have some shares and I'm going to keep buying shares because not only because they're holding Bitcoin, not only because they're a sponsor of the show, but I just find their platform incredibly easy to use. It has every feature that you could ask for on it. They're Bitcoiners at heart. They've been around for, I think, 10 years now. And they're just very easy to deal with. Like I know with banks, with other exchanges like Coinbase, you have a question or you have an issue, it could take a week for somebody to get back to you. Here, I actually used their customer service yesterday. All you have to do is just click the little chat button in the bottom right, and you can talk to a real human there. It has a picture of them, the name, and they're very quick to respond. And I think that is so important for people who are new to Bitcoin, because it is not easy. I know it's second nature to us now, but that's so helpful. And the fact that they're like fluent in English, they can, speak back to you and you can understand each other, that's a huge thing. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you know, it's a huge thing. So big shout out to Bitcoin Well for that announcement. I think their stock's probably going to go up a little bit. I might wait till it chops a little bit to buy more, but I will be buying more. So with that, I highly suggest if you are in Canada, if you're in the US, get yourself a Bitcoin Well account. There's been a lot of people from this community who have signed up and who have had a lot of success using their platform. A lot of good things to say about them. So there is the link at the bottom there. You get 5 free tosses into the wishing well, which we're going to do here in just a sec, just for signing up, using that code and buying some Bitcoin. So if you've never used them, I highly encourage just set up an account, try them out, and I guarantee that you're going to love how it works. It's much more than just a Bitcoin exchange. They got everything going on there. So let's toss this. Everybody got their lightning wallets out? Get the wallet out, press send, and somebody's going to win some sats today. Ready? Set? Go. I get like a nervous, right before that pops up there, I get really nervous every time. I get nervous it's going to be 1,000,000 sats. That's the top prize. You could throw a coin into the wishing well and you could win 1,000,000 sats. And I think it was BTC Sessions. He does something like this too. And somebody won 210,000 sats live on the show. So unfortunately not today, but somebody still got 500 sats of the greatest units in monetary history just now. So congrats. Congrats. And make sure, if you're in Canada, if you're in the US, get yourself an account there with the code, with the link at the bottom there, bitcoinwell.com/JOR, JOR. All right, let's catch up on some comments here because I'm a million behind here. All right, what does Ivan say? Hello, Jor from Croatia. World is waking up, but barely. Just watch BBC commentary. Crypto expert says that ETH has intrinsic value, but not Bitcoin. I mean, don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Actually, be glad about that, because you know what? It's fun to celebrate 100K, but you have to keep in mind here as we go forward that, as we just talked about, every time you get fiat, you convert to Bitcoin. And if everybody understood Bitcoin, if all the media was talking about Bitcoin in a positive way, the price would go up. And every time you exchanged your fiat for Bitcoin, you would get less Bitcoin. So we know where this is going. And those people, the media, they can take as long as they want. Just focus on your local area, focus on your network, focus on your family, and just get as much fucking Bitcoin as you possibly can. That's the truth. That's the truth. ABC said we might hit a mil faster than we went 0 to 100 under 15 years. I mean, this isn't anything other than my opinion, but I think we're going to hit 1 million this cycle. Bookmark it. Ian says, I heard today that Microsoft have asked another meeting with Saylor. Yeah, I heard that too. I think it was Mark Moss that reported that yesterday. For good reason, but at the same time, Microsoft can kick rocks. Who cares? I don't like Microsoft. I don't like anything about that company. And the longer they wait to buy Bitcoin, the better. Nathan says 2 trillion market cap. This is only start. Oh, I didn't know that. I knew we were close to that last time though, so I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I agree with this. I think that it's going to happen. Redbird says, I mean, there's price predictions. Nobody knows though. That's the thing. What I'm basing that off of just how much demand there's going to be. And at this early in the cycle, at this price, with the amount of Bitcoin that's available, you know, there's going to be a supply crunch. And what happens when the supply crunch comes? Anyone's guess. Hey, Crypto Princess. Hello, Jor, and everyone. Congratulations on 100K Bitcoin. We love Bitcoin. Bitcoin forever. Make sure you go check out the interview I did with Crypto Princess. You can just search it on YouTube. If the 1 hour show today isn't enough for you, go check out that interview with Crypto Princess on her channel. All right, what else we got here? Duncan says, how many sats did you say is good for a decoy wallet? I would say, like, there's no amount of sats. What I usually suggest for people with a decoy wallet is 5% of your stack. And actually, what was I going to say on that? Oh, yeah. Yesterday we did our 6th episode of multi-generational wealth. And I highly, highly encourage anybody out there who's just kind of getting into Bitcoin. You know, if you just got in, I'd say in 2024, I mean, it has some stuff for everybody, regardless of where you are in your Bitcoin journey. There's probably something that you might that you're going to take away from that series. But especially if you've just got into Bitcoin in 2024, there's 6 episodes now with some very, very important information in regards to key management, security, passphrase decoy wallets. Yesterday, I did a show on best practices. I think it was about a list of 10 things that you have to do properly with getting into Bitcoin and building your foundation. And decoy wallets was one of those. So make sure you go check that out, and even how to store them properly and thinking through different scenarios that could happen. So I say 5%, and make sure that you use it as a decoy wallet, not just like a side with, or, you know, with everything else you have all together. That's important. And I talked about that on the episode yesterday for best practices in Bitcoin. So if you want to check that out, you can sign up Living in the Future, the link right at the top of the show notes. It's $5 a month. You get access to the multi-generational wealth course. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't want a recurring charge on your credit card, whatever, but I'm actually going to have the course for sale once it's done. So it's going to be 8 episodes, multi-generational wealth. And if you follow that, they're all about 10, 15, 20 minutes long. I wanted to keep them really short, but very good information for somebody who's just trying to navigate their way in Bitcoin. So you can either join, get access to it today, or you can wait until the course is done and you can buy it. Hey, Mike, I'm brand new. I got in an average price of 88K. Do we think it'll still be a cycle where in the next year it'll come back down? I don't know. Again, just buy when you have fiat. That's it. Don't overthink things. Don't worry about what's going to happen in the future. Just every time you have some free cash, buy Bitcoin. That's it. It's as simple as that. I know the world likes to complicate things and try to game and, you know, outsmart, but Bitcoin is so easy. Every time you have fake money, buy real money, convert it to real money, use Bitcoin well, set up a recurring buy. And then every time you get another inflow of cash, buy Bitcoin. Josh says, I'm sure this has been mentioned before, but do you recommend Lightning Wallet for ease of use? I need to get one going. I'll pair it with Sparrow, and then I can send sats to the Arnster. Yeah, I don't think you'll need to pair it with Sparrow, honestly. And I think that the best, and maybe I'll do this for episode 7 on multi-generational wealth, in terms of the best flow of sats and how you can manage it most efficiently for UTXOs, for transaction fees, for having it where you need it when you want it. But yeah, you don't need to pair it with Sparrow. The beautiful thing, and this is what I've been using Bitcoin well for the most, is like if you have Bitcoin accumulating in a Lightning wallet, you can use Bitcoin well, the swap feature. You just send it to a QR code, you put in your Bitcoin address, and it goes from your Lightning to your cold storage, 0 fees, which is nobody else offers that. And if you try to do that from Wallet of Satoshi to on-chain, or if you try to do that from Aqua Wallet to on-chain, or any other Lightning wallet, you're going to pay a shitload of fees for that because you're swapping from on-chain or off-chain to on-chain. So Josh, what I would say to that is get a Lightning wallet, get like a Wallet of Satoshi. You're in Ontario. I'm pretty sure you could use Wallet of Satoshi there. And then just find different ways to earn sats. You can use Fountain, you can use Wavelake, you can use ZBD, you can use Bitcoin Solitaire, you can join Nostr, make some posts on there. and just put all of them going into your wallet of Satoshi. I mean, you could too, like you can actually send Bitcoin from Sparrow just to fund your Lightning wallet. But again, you could use Bitcoin Well for that. And I'm pretty sure it's 0 fees to do that, to send on chain to Lightning. Try it out. But definitely use, I recommend Wallet Satoshi just because it's so easy to use, easy to figure out for people. And it's available in Canada. Ginger, good morning. Nick as well. What an amazing day. Historical. Cheers. Yeah, cheers, everybody. Honestly, this is a big deal. I know we don't want to get too far ahead of our skis here, but like 100K is a big deal. So if you've been riding it out for the last couple of years and grinding and being called an idiot, dummy, fool, laughed at, mocked at, ridiculed, you've earned this. And this is just the beginning. Like, it's not like we're going to get to 100K and top out. Like, we're just getting started, but it still feels pretty good. So cheers, everybody. And as Zath says here, cracked some champagne last night. 100K is such a huge psychological milestone. It is surreal living during a time of transition of a fiat-controlled, centralized money to decentralized commodity. It's unreal, truly unreal. And that's the thing for me. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Our net worth went up a little bit, but like people are catching on. And the higher this thing goes, it's going to bring more and more people in. The stronger the network becomes, and that's Bitcoin. So, pretty cool. Buck 52,000. This kind of feels like when you score with a hot chick. What do we do now? Well, you marry her. Well, not if she's a hot chick, if she's a cool hot chick. But you marry her and you marry your Bitcoin. And marrying your Bitcoin would be sending it to cold storage. Hey, somebody just sent 1,000 sats to the wallet here. Says, happy Thursday, happy 100K. Thank you. And I see Bodie's over in Zap stream. We got 10 people in there now. Bodie's over there. Letha's over there. Good to see you. That's the usual suspects over in Zap stream. The real OGs, the real Bitcoiners over in Zap stream. Unfortunately, Zap stream's been pretty buggy, but we'll get it figured out. Just give it some time. I do see some Zaps coming in today, though. Look at that. We had 1,000 SAD Zap this morning, another 1,000 SAD Zap this morning, and another 1,000 SAD Zap this morning. So, I mean, I don't know. People know that they can't see it on the screen, but they still send it. That's incredible to me. That exemplifies what Bitcoin is. So thank you. I don't know who sent those, but thank you. Exactly. This is a really good point from Farar. Only sell for things that will improve your life. Another frog. Good morning. PNC says, what if someone holds 100% of his wealth in Bitcoin and spend it on food and water on the daily basis? Is that okay? I mean, that's not only okay, that's recommended. That is recommended. If you can do that properly, that's the way to go. Duchess, good morning. Good morning. Jor, Arnie, another day, another digit in the Bitcoin USD price. Amen to that. Big shout out to Duchess. They've been, he or she, but that's it, have been a very big supporter of the show lately with super chats and with the sats. So thank you for that. Norman says, can you give me a quick explanation of what is the Bitcoin wallet? Do you have any videos explaining? I mean, it's very, very simple since you asked. Like that's why I love Bitcoin Well. That's why I've invested in Bitcoin Well, because it is so damn easy to use. And I don't really want to dox myself here, but okay, we can, whatever. So show for the people. So you can see here, literally all you need to do So you go to buy, you put in how much money you want to spend. We're going to buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin today. It shows you how much Bitcoin you're going to receive. You add a wallet here. You can use Lightning or you can use Bitcoin. I would say if you're buying less than 200,000 sats, I would send it to your Lightning address. So you can add a Lightning or a layer 1 address in here. In this case, I would be sending it to my cold storage wallet there, the Bitcoin Journey wallet. And then you just send an e-transfer. It tells you their email address. It tells you the security question and the security answer. I don't know if I can get in trouble for showing that, but I mean, worst case, somebody just funds my account. So, and then you set them up as like a contact in your online banking. With this information, you copy and paste. You can just click right here, copy, paste it into your online banking as a new contact. And then you enter your security question, which they provide, the security answer, which they provide. And then you just send an e-transfer. Or I don't know what this is like in the US. I'm guessing it's something similar to an e-transfer. And then as soon as the money shows up at Bitcoin Wallet, some banks are instantaneous, some take a little while. Mine takes half an hour. But as soon as that money arrives at Bitcoin Wallet, they send the Bitcoin to your address. And if it's on Lightning, it's instantaneous. And I think if it's on-chain, it takes a little while. But it'll tell you, it'll keep you updated with the status here. And you can see it in if you use Sparrow Wallet, it'll show up as a new transaction, I believe. So they batch them. That's why it's free. So here, if you bought Bitcoin right now, it wouldn't show up in your wallet for the next 20 hours. But it's free to do. You don't have to pay any fees on that. Okay, I'm going to unplug this light. It's too bright. Let's get the mouse going again here so I don't have to be so close to the screen. So that's it. Very simple. And here's the swap feature I was talking about. This is where it says I want on-chain. So this is if you had money or Bitcoin in your Lightning wallet that you wanted to, let's say you've been doing like smaller purchases on Bitcoin Wallet, sending to your Lightning wallet, and it builds up to like 200,000 sats and you want to send that to your cold storage. You add your destination address there. You can see Arnie's. And then you just send it to this QR code. You go into your Lightning wallet, you say 100,000 sats, scan that, and then it'll send from your Lightning to your cold storage that you provide right there in the destination address. And again, it'll take 20 hours, but it will get there, and it is free, which is incredible. Raykin says, do you think buying Lightning sats from Bitcoin Wallet adds privacy? I don't think so, because you have to KYC yourself, but you can buy Bitcoin without verifying yourself. And I'm going to do that today, actually, in the city. So I'm going to record a video. I meant to do it last week, but I ran out of time. So I'm going to go to the Bitcoin Well ATM in the city, and I'm going to buy some Bitcoin with a voucher. Pretty cool. I don't know if that's available in America, so I don't want to rub it in, but you definitely can do that. So that's the best way. If you want to be private about it, you just create a new email address, you buy a voucher, or you go to buy on here. I was looking at it this morning. It's pretty easy to do. Lightning sats to CoinOS, then transfer Aqua Wallet. I mean, you don't need to do any of this if you're using Bitcoin Well. This is how I was doing it before, is sending it to Aqua, swap it from Lightning to on-chain, or from Liquid to on-chain, and then sending it to the on-chain. But like, it still costs like 2,000 sats to do that. So with Bitcoin Well, it's free. Brent says, if there was an easy way to short it, I would. Bill Gates. Well, start shorting Microsoft in Q1. Hey, Jason's up. Jason's on the West Coast, so he's a little bit late today, but that's okay. He's here every other day, first thing in the morning. Parker, good morning. Something smells sweet in the air this morning. Yeah, I don't know what it is. What is the price? Are we still just going sideways here? Going sideways at $102,000? Oh, shit. Tommy, good morning, man. Mike says, what if I'm sitting on a very large sum of fiat right now? Do I just dump it all in dollar cost average or wait for a pullback? Get yourself a Bitcoin Well account. Depending on how large it is, Mike, If it's like over 50K, give me a shout. Give me an email first, and I'll give you a couple different instructions with that. But I would definitely say buy it all today. Don't dollar cost. Don't wait for a pullback. Do it today if you can. So if it's a big amount, reach out to me. I'll give you a couple words of advice, and I don't mind doing it for free for certain things. But otherwise, just get a Bitcoin well account, dump it in there, and definitely don't wait, because we have no idea what's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks. I feel like, again, this is literally just the beginning. And Parker says, I would feel uneasy stacking more than 100K sats in Wallet of Satoshi. Great advice, truly. Usually when my balance gets up, around 100, 200K sats in Wallet of Satoshi, I just send it to Bitcoin Well to my cold storage. So you never want to leave too much on Lightning, especially if it's like a Wallet of Satoshi custodial wallet. Silence and laughter. I mean, that's the trend here coming from the TradFi, traditional finance world. And this is a great point from Kaplata. People don't get it still cheap. Buying Bitcoin will always be cheap. Earning it, not so much. Take advantage of this as long as you can. Hey, Rick's in the chat. Good morning, Rick. Have you smashed a like yet? That's a great question. All right, I got a very easy task for everybody today. Very easy. Because this comment here from Kaplata made me think of one of the Bitcoin Amigos, Jerry. So what he says, buy 1,000 sats today for $1, or you could before today. But because for those 1,000 sats in the future, you're going to have to work very hard. Your family's going to have to work very hard for those sats in the future. So just understand that and just take advantage of where we are right now. Because even though it seems like Bitcoin's a lot, you have to start looking at sats, not Bitcoin price. And I think the world's going to gradually get there, but you can take advantage of that now. So here we go. You go to type this in here, and maybe I'll put this at the top of the show notes if I remember. But either way, let me bring it up here. I want everybody to go take 1 to 30 seconds right now. We got 100 people in here watching. Everybody go over to while you're watching this, you can just search Bitcoin Amigos YouTube and subscribe. This is where we're going to be doing our Friday shows every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, with Jerry Loves Freedom, with Chris from Fractal Bitcoin. That's a song that you heard at the start of the show. He made that song. And so it's a new thing we're doing, the Bitcoin Amigos. Fun show for all levels of Bitcoin. And if you ever watch one of Chris's shows, you know how fun they are. So that's what we're trying to emulate on Fridays. So go over there right now, subscribe to the Bitcoin Amigos. Let's see if anybody has here. Oh, one person. Out of 104 people, there's one person who listened. That's pretty poor percentages there. All right, I'm trying my best here to catch up because I'm going to have to go in about 5-10 minutes. But yes, search this, Bitcoin Amigos, because we're going to be streaming it from here. It's not going to be on Chris's channel anymore. It's going to be streamed from the Bitcoin Amigos. What do you say, Arn? Oh, I thought he was here. Looking for crumbs in the kitchen, it looks like. He's scrounging. Did we feed him this morning? Oh, I got to feed Lucky still. Shit. All right. Who we got here? We got Azukas. 1 million Bitcoin is a real thing from now on. Amen to that. Django, one of our Bitcoin journeymen. Good morning, fellow Bitcoin rock and rollers. We got another 1,000 sad zap here for Arnie and the Rescue Dog from Lucky and Duchess. Thank you. Continuing to pull the weight around here. Timber Crasher. Good morning, Bitcoiners. You sat stacking legends. Oh, there we go. Not Mikkel's sat stacking sleuts. What you doing, Arn? Either lucky or very smart. I actually think it's both. I think you are lucky and you're very smart, because you're lucky to be born right now at this time in history, but you also are very smart for joining this whole movement. Look at this, junior vice president of Zimbabwe. I left a tyrannical country with my Bitcoin, bought no KYC like the common wisdom says. Now I get source of fund requests and banks reject me. The AML, anti-money laundering world, has ruined the main reason many buy Bitcoin. Now I get source of fund requests and banks reject me. So source of funds requests, they would be asking them, how do you earn money? I'm guessing that's what that is. Yeah, I mean, that's shitty. And I think we're pretty fortunate where we are here. But, you know, I hope that as we move forward here, as this whole Bitcoin thing progresses, you know, I hope this stuff changes. And it has to start somewhere. And I think it's going to start in January in the US of A. I really believe that. I really believe that there's a whole lot of illness in the world, a whole lot of sickness in the world, which is caused by fiat. And I think that Bitcoin is the cure for that. And I really believe that the way Bitcoin is designed and how it's going to work is that the cure will spread worldwide. I really believe that. Jason, my better half just sent me a video of Thunderstruck. I wanted to play that this morning, but I thought it was nice to give Smoke the Fool some love. I think that's the pump up song of this bull run. Both Thunderstruck and Smoke the Fools. But Smoke the Fools doesn't get me kicked off of YouTube, so that's why I lean towards that one today. Somebody sent 1,000 zaps saying to Arnie from Fred and his bitches. Oh, that's good stuff. ABC, I just hope they don't tax unrealized gains. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about taxes. Just get as much Bitcoin as you can while we can. Worry about the rest later. Maverick, watch the exact moment it hit 100K with the wifey. Big moment in my household. It will be a story I tell my kids. Love that. Ginger says, when using the free transaction on Bitcoin, well, is it the price from the purchase time or when the transaction goes through? It would be based on the purchase time for sure. I mean, I don't know that, but that's the only thing that would make sense. I don't think that they would ever wait 20 hours and do it then. The transaction would go through and then the Bitcoin wouldn't be sent for another X amount of hours. What do we got here? Damien says, why is it not safe to keep Bitcoin and sats on Lightning? That's a good question. It kind of is, depending on what Lightning wallet you use. Like if you're using Phoenix, where you actually hold the keys to that and you have your own Lightning channel, then that's safe. It's as safe as, I wouldn't say it's as safe because it's still hot, it's still online. But wallets like Wallet of Satoshi, where they're holding the keys for you to that Lightning channel, then, you know, I'd say the odds of like Wallet of Satoshi ever rugging people would be very low, but it's still a risk. So it's a non-0% chance, but it's very low. It's just good practice more than anything. Hey, Letha's over here too. Like smash. Thank you, Letha. See how we're doing with that. 60 likes. That's not bad. Let's see how many people subscribe to the Bitcoin Amigos in the last 5 minutes. I'm looking at you. 89. There we go. Let's get that up. Let's get that up to 100. We got 103 people in here right now. I think we could have 20 people or 11 people subscribe before the end of the show. Let's get that to 100. It's cheap to do. If you've been enjoying the show, if you've been learning anything, or even just being entertained for an hour every day or 2 hours every day, it's free to do that. And we would very much appreciate it. So Bitcoin Amigos, go over there and subscribe. Christian, Long Beach, California. Happy I discovered you. No noise, all signal. Appreciate the value you provide. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate that comment. And if you do feel like giving some value back, right there, send to our guy, Arnie. You can send a zap, or you can just go to Bitcoin Amigos channel and subscribe. That's value to me. You're welcome, Mike. Anytime. Just if you need to get in touch with me again, all my contact info is in the show notes here. Dale says, when someone offers you a seat on a rocket ship, you don't question where the seat is. 100K is still a good seat. Exactly. Dale gets it. Dale gets it. Dale's an OG Bitcoiner. He's been through all the highs and lows. So this had to have been a pretty vindicated moment for Dale. Bitcoin was number 80. There we go, to Bitcoin Amigos. Thank you, Letha. Duncan has subscribed. Daniel has subscribed. And Greg's take says fiat is a disease. Agreed. Agree with that. And Bitcoin is the cure. And we got Duchess with $2 too coming in for a super chat. Thank you, Duchess. Excited to add Bitcoin Amigos to my subscriptions. Wow. So we got a Duchess hit the trifecta this morning. A Zap, a subscribe to Bitcoin Amigos, and a super chat. How many people can say that? They got the full trifecta this morning. All right, what do we got here? Daniel's over in the Zap stream says, so weird, I can see Letha Zap, but mine still don't show up. I zapped 1K. Friggin'. I actually told people to stop zapping Zap stream yesterday because I was so mad. I got a little bit fired up at the end of the show yesterday. I usually keep my composure pretty good on here. But yesterday I just had enough. I had enough. I get tired of people in the comments, in the chat, like almost like I'm a monkey up here. Like, you need to do this, or you need to talk more about this, or you need to explain this to me. Don't assume. It's like, fuck you. This channel is free for anybody to watch. I don't make any sort of money from doing a live show. There's no ads on the show. The only money that I make during the show are from people who send in zaps and people who send in super chats. And you're trying to tell me how to do this show, or say that I need to do something that you want? Get fucked. So I got a little bit mad yesterday at the end of the show, but that's okay. I'm allowed to. What max sats would you keep on strike? I mean, people have different opinions on this. Some people think that the minimum UTXO size should be 1 million. I think that that's way too high. I'm more in the party of, if you have 1 million sats, that's going to be very good for your family and your future. And you don't want it all to be on one UTXO. You want to kind of spread it out a little bit for privacy reasons and just not keeping it all in one spot. So I think that, once you get to like my minimum for UTXOs, 100K. And people might mock me for that. People might think that's too low, but I see where this thing's going. And when I go to spend that 100K sats in the future, that's the only thing that I need to worry about with the UTXOs is when I'm going to spend those. And I'm not going to spend them until I can buy a lot with that 100K, right? Like, I think that will get either a house or a truck or something in the future. And then I just move that. It'll cost me 1 UTXO worth of sats to do that. And I'd rather keep it in cold storage than I would on Lightning or on an exchange. And even if I'm wrong, even if this takes longer than I think it will to play out, I can always just consolidate them later. Like, the fees are always going to go back down. Always. That's how it's a free market, the mempool and the transaction fee market. They're always going to go back down. So if I want to consolidate in the future, I can. But I'd rather have it on my cold storage wallet than on Lightning. Anthony says, hey, new to this whole Bitcoin thing, but I started buying Bitcoin in 2023. So ShakePay isn't a good app to use to buy Bitcoin. I use ShakePay for a couple things. I use it to earn free sats every day by shaking it. I use it to pay for things with the ShakePay Visa to earn sats back and do the roundup feature to get some more sats every purchase. But I don't buy Bitcoin with ShakePay anymore. There's just been a couple things over the last couple of years with the government, with the regulations. They sided with the government. They leaked some information. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but I just don't use ShakePay to buy Bitcoin anymore. There's better ways. Bitcoin, well, in my opinion, is a far better experience than ShakePay. Plus, ShakePay still has Ethereum. They still have Ethereum on their app. So, I mean, I could understand it for a while, but now we know what we know. Like, get it off there, ShakePay. Get it off there. American Desperado. Good morning, Jor. Congrats on hitting 100K milestone. I love this Bitcoin community. Me too. I would put this community and the living in the future community in Bitcoin up there with anybody, with any other community, truly. And I know that might sound a little bit self-centered, but it's not. It has nothing to do with me. Zero to do with me. It has everything to do with the quality of people and the knowledge level of those people in the community. It's crazy to me. And we've had that community for less than a year now, probably like 8 months. And it's incredible to see what that has evolved into already. Simon, if I ever did that, it was not in a bad way. No, it wasn't to you. It was somebody on here yesterday that pissed me off. And it also depends. And I know it's hard. It's easy to get lost in translation when you're texting and when you're commenting. But at the same time, it's like, you can be nice about it. Like let me give you an example here. Let me give you a real quick example of what that was on the UTXO video yesterday. Comments. Okay, so this was a comment. I posted a video talking about Dale in the chat shared his experience about somebody having issues with. They spent $60 because they didn't know anything about UTXOs. They had to consolidate it, and it cost them $60 or 50,000 sats. And so I just shared a quick clip just to make people aware of like UTXOs and that this could happen. And somebody comments, can you please not do a whole video without using the full term? I have no idea what UTXO stands for. Don't assume. FrogDev 728. So I said, you're telling me how to do videos on a free YouTube channel? You must be joking. And then somebody else said, dude, it was 90 seconds long. Exactly. Like, what the fuck? It was a clip, 90 seconds long. You want me to go into what a UTXO is and, like, get bent. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. So it definitely wasn't you, Simon. 0 day. Congrats to all believers. Amen to that. Amen to that. We got Ballsy Golf. Smash the like button. Subscribe to Bitcoin Amigos. Let's fucking go. How we doing? Do we hit 100 subscribers over there yet? I don't know. 97. We're 3 people away. We can do it. We can do it. Get off your ass. All right, let's see. Exactly. Captain Coban, people need to learn how to Google terms they don't know. Like, get out of here. It honestly, it would be different if it was like in the living in the future community. And that was kind of like what people were paying to be a member of like me to explain things. I think that I do a pretty good job of that as it is for free and paid people. But like, you're not giving me anything. What the hell do I owe you? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Bernard, your videos are totally underrated. I think that's the biggest compliment a guy can receive. Is underrated. So thank you for that. Is this live on Twitter too? No, I'm not. I'm thinking about it. I'm not really sure what to do here. And this is something I've been going back and forth with myself because my Twitter account is not verified, which means that I can't. Oh, MicroStrategy, have a day. Kahine says not following Bitcoin. It looks like it's up today, 7% up on my end anyways. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on there with Twitter. I don't know if I should pay and get it, because I do think that it's probably worth the reach for that reason, so I can go live on Twitter. But I don't know. I've kind of just been going under the advice of Matt Odell of the anti-blue check. But I also, and then I take a step back and I think, you know, Odell's in a much different position than I am, right? He's been here for 2 or 3 cycles now, at least. He's very financially set, I'm assuming, with Bitcoin. And so he doesn't need that. He doesn't need to grow his reach. He doesn't need to get onto Twitter and find new people. But I do, right? I'm still a couple cycles behind. I need to be aware of that. And I don't need to do everything that other Bitcoiners are doing. So I don't have a verified account, but I'm thinking about it. It's kind of tough. It's a tough spot for me. There you go, Anthony. Way to go. I'm getting Bitcoin well. I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin well today, I think. Kind of makes sense. If I like it, I'm promoting it. I should be part of the ride up. No? Has Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme? Okay, well, I'm 17 minutes late here, so we don't have time to do that. Locks guy's having some fun here. Okay, that's all right. Let's YouTube is more controlled platform. I know, I agree with that. And I've been very happy with how, we're at 99 subscribers on Bitcoin Amigos. Can we get one more? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? We're going to stay on the stream until somebody subscribes. Just kidding. I very much appreciate those who did. I think we went from 79 to 99. So that's 20% of people. That's good. I don't know what the other 80% of you are doing with your fingers right now, but definitely go check it out. We're going to be doing a live show tomorrow on there. I'm going to have the show in the morning, just like always. I'm going to do a podcast tomorrow. We're going to do the Bitcoin Amigos live stream. It's going to be fun. Everybody's feeling good in this space right now, and it's very easy to come on and do shows right now. There we go. This is not financial advice. Anything could happen. But I just really believe in what they're doing over there. And if Bitcoin works out, there's going to be all these companies who have been building for the last X amount of years that are going to ride that wave. And, you know, there's still going to be a huge need for exchanging your fake money for real money in the coming years. And I think the easier the companies make that for people, the better off they're going to do. Kev subscribed. Was he number 100? There we go. 101. We can end the stream. Good. Thanks, Kev. And thanks, Win Bella. Best show. Cheers. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go buy some sats from the Bitcoin well. Today, I think I'm going to document it. I think I'm going to share it with the Living in the Future community. I'm going to go actually to the silver store first. I'm going to try to find a gold silver dealer, and I'm going to trade in some silver today. I'm going to take that cash and I'm going to go buy some sats from Bitcoin well at the ATM. So I'm going to document it. I'm going to see how much I get for the silver. I'm going to see how easy it is to use the Bitcoin well ATMs. And I'm going to share that video with the Living in the Future community. So again, if you're new here or somewhat new, or you want to just increase your Bitcoin knowledge, increase your Bitcoin security, I highly recommend joining Living in the Future. Not only are you going to get the multi-generational wealth course, but you're going to get access and you're going to get added to, in my opinion, the best Bitcoin community that exists right now. And we are very early, and now is the time that you want to be making these connections, building these bridges. And the faster you can grow your Bitcoin network, the faster you can leave the fiat system. If you think about it, if you really think through that whole thing and what that looks like in a couple of years from now, you have to start building your web of trust now, and you have to start meeting other people from around the world that you can transact with and you know, start ventures with and buy and sell things from. So the multi-generational wealth is included with the Living in the Future membership, and you can get that. Jay says, how do I join? Right at the top of the show notes, it says there's a Bitcoin starter pack, and then it says Living in the Future. You can join it there very easily. It's $5 a month, and I guarantee the best $5 a month you'll ever spend. Promise. And if you don't, you can try for 7 days. You can try for a month. Worst case, you spend $5 and then you leave. Not going to hurt my feelings, but it might hurt yours in the future. What's the ticker? I don't know. BCT, BTC, well, BTCW. Don't buy it just because I said to, though. Buy Bitcoin instead. Why is it down? Why is their thing frozen? Anyways, okay. Have a great day, everybody. Consider joining. Check out the multi-generational wealth course. There's 6 episodes on there now, and I guarantee you'll learn at least one thing from that course, and that thing could be the difference between you having your Bitcoin in 20 years from now and not. Could be. And it's a very cheap bet. Pranav, happy K, happy 100K. Okay, Arnie got up, so he knows that we're shutting her down. Maybe he'll join us for 1 second here as we say goodbye. So have yourselves an amazing day. Thank you for the zaps today. Arnie will say thanks. He'll show up here in about 5 seconds. So have yourselves a great day. Happy 100K. And we'll talk to you right back here first thing tomorrow morning. Bye-bye. No, he's not moving. He usually comes right after. No, maybe he's on to us. Okay, bye-bye.